back to another edition of The Move, Yellowstone edition.
Yeah,
So,
Yellowstone.
this one's a dicey one. Again, we've got our four overall categories that we're going to be rating it on. We've got bot activity, beer availability, spots, and wilderness factor. This one's a tough one. It's a lot different than the other parks we were at.
It's very different, and we were talking about this yesterday, how it gets a big boost when you see it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the one that I've been to now 3 or 4 times. So overall, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Yellowstone. So keep that in mind as you watch this.
Yes. Okay, well, with that being said, why don't you start us off with spots?
All right, so the spots are decent here in Yellowstone. You don't have a ton of solitude just because there's so many people and it's just so developed. And I really didn't feel like there's a lot of like great views and vistas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, we're out here traveling and seeing the best of the best. So Yellowstone it's got better views than 90% of the country. But compared to Grand Teton, Glacier, Yosemite, it has not even a remote chance.
Yeah.
It's
the ugly duckling.
Yeah.
Of the bunch.
So the reason why it even got decent instead of mid or foul for me is just because of the geysers. That's a really unique feature about it. It's cool. It deserves some credit for that.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a dece on those spots.
I'm going with the same. I'm going dece for the spots. Basically for the same reasons. I was feeling really critical about it, and really the only thing that keeps it from slipping into that really negative range is that there's the geysers. It's something that I've never seen before. I've never seen a geyser. I've never seen it anywhere else. I don't even know where else you can see one in the United States. There's got to be some places, but I don't know where they are.
I'm not sure either, to be honest with you.
The geysers are cool, just for their uniqueness alone. Like Sam said, there's not really any like amazing vistas. There's some spots that are quieter and nicer and kind of have a relaxing vibe, but there's nothing too awe-inspiring. So it's getting a solid dece rating from me too. It's just in the middle. And with that in mind, I think it's a good factor to move ahead to our second category, which is wilderness factor. So for wilderness factor, I'm going mid. And I'm going mid because really you don't feel like you're in the wild. Like you're basically surrounded by a whole bunch of people all the time. You're on basically a Disneyland escalator full of people. Pretty much anywhere you go. The thing that keeps it from being foul is the fact that we saw the most amount of animals here. We saw a bison in the road. That was a highlight. That was pretty cool. We did see a bear slightly up the mountain. That was relatively cool also.
A brown black bear.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to see the grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Not one sighting of a grizzly bear over our entire month-long stay in the most inhabited area of the country by grizzly bears.
Yeah, so that was tough.
That was tough. Also, kind of a myth that grizzly bears are like a problem. Yeah, so you good on wilderness?
Yeah, mid for me.
I give it valid. I factored in the geysers into this one too. It's just a very unique place. Like, you can't find geysers anywhere else. And I thought of it as like you come across Yellowstone as an explorer, like Lewis and Clark are the first person to find Yellowstone, and that's like the most wild place that you've ever seen in your entire life. Just like, it's bizarre. Like, there's
very
holes
unique
in the ground with boiling water. The whole place smells like sulfur. So that gets a bit of a bump. The mountains are kind of mid there. You don't really have to go for the mountains. Not great woods, and yeah, there's a lot of wildlife. But I think also the reason why there's a lot of wildlife in Yellowstone is because one, there's so many people, and two, it's so developed that humans and animals overlap more in Yellowstone than anywhere else. Yeah, so I give it valid on the wilderness factor.
All right, how about you give us a walkthrough of bot activity?
Bot activity is foul.
Yep.
Cut it straight to the point. It's packed, like I've been saying on various other pieces of content. It's the Walmart of national parks. I stand by that. If not, have that reinforced. Everybody and their mother goes to Yellowstone for some reason. So just have that in mind when you go. Definitely, if you're going to go in the summer, you have to be aware that it's going to be pretty much too busy to do anything.
Absolute shit show, I'm sure.
So,
I agree. I basically can't say much more. It's foul. It's got the bottom of the barrel rating from me and you. That's 2 foul reviews. That's the first time that's ever happened. It's the first time we've given a foul review at all, I think.
I've given something a foul. I gave bot activity foul at Glacier too.
Okay.
Not a people person.
Yeah, this guy just hates folks. Bot activity, it's bad. Like you said, it's the Walmart of national parks. It's all the people. It's just the armpit of all people go there, basically.
Yeah, the armpit of nature people. They're like fake nature people.
Yeah, exactly. So,
beer availability.
Bot activity foul. Beer availability is.
I'm going foul too. West Yellowstone is a absolute shithole. We didn't get to see any of the other gateway communities because the northern entrance was closed, so we didn't get up there. The eastern side, I think, was also still closed, like over by Cody, so we didn't get to see that. And then we came in the south, but there's nothing there. It's kind of just Grand Tetons, and then it meets right up with Yellowstone, so that doesn't even count. But West Yellowstone, it's commercial. It's kind of got like a beach town vibe where they have like all those T-shirt shops, and like it's just gimmicky, corny kind of a vibe. The one good thing I have to say about it is we got really good lunch at a diner there. I had a great roast beef sandwich. That was awesome. I think everybody had good meals. I had a great milkshake too. So
yeah, that was really good.
That's the one positive thing I can say about the beer availability in the towns around Yellowstone.
Yeah, for beer availability, I'm not going foul. I'm going mid, and I'm going mid for 2 reasons. One, there are a couple of spots that you can go to get a good bite to eat. There are. I mean, there may only be 2 or 3. There's not that many, and it's definitely a dump. But if you pick your spots selectively, you can grab a good bite to eat in a couple of the spots. And the second reason why it gets a mid and not a foul is simply the proximity. You aren't going to go in or out of Yellowstone without going through the town. If you need to pick anything up on your way in or on your way out, fret not. You will be going through. Need to use a bathroom, no big deal. So
it's a good point.
Just the proximity alone, and the fact that if you do a little bit of digging, you can find a spot or 2 with a good menu, saves it from being foul for me. But just barely, it's a mid for me.
Yep. I will say that the proximity was a good point. I didn't really think of that. I'm not going to change from foul, though. Fuck West Yellowstone.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, so overall, Yellowstone is getting a mid from me. Roll back that clip from the first episode. I said Yellowstone was mid. I said it was the Walmart of national parks. I stand by that. And yeah, I'm going to die on that hill. It was mid.
I agree. Unfortunately, it can't escape the mid category. I do think that there's a couple of asterisks on it, and that's that if you don't really know if you're into the national park, traveling, going into nature for a week type of thing, it's a good starter pack. You're going to be around a whole bunch of people. You're not going to be in very much danger. It's a good first park to check out. If you go there after you've been to all these other parks that we've been visiting, you might be a little let down. But if you're going out for your first time, you could probably do worse. And then they do have some unique features there, like the geysers and Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Even though it's nothing too crazy, it's something that you probably won't see anywhere else. So for that, it's worth something. Still getting a mid from me, but definitely not the shittiest place on earth.
You could do worse. Yeah. If it is your first national park, just bear in mind it gets better.
Yes, it does, definitely.
All right, guys. So that's our review on Yellowstone.
Yep.
Overall, mid. There you go. Meh.
We had the fortune of having our friends visit us.
Yeah.
To hang out with us for our Yellowstone stint, which elevated the experience significantly. But if you're going by yourself, just be prepared. Don't get your hopes too high. Maybe check out a couple other spots if you want to have your socks blown off.
Yeah, I would agree.
Definitely.
Sounds good, guys. Take
Peace.
care.